Hey guys, so we're here with Dena Espenscheid, and she is the Director of Coalitions at the Leadership Institute. She's also working on pro-life things. So I used to work at Leadership Institute, and so I understand you guys are working on some pro-life initiatives that are going to be unveiled soon. What can you tell us about it?
Yes, I'm very excited about this project. So Leadership Institute is a 501c3 nonpartisan nonprofit. We've trained over 258,000 people over the last 43 years, and this is the first time that we're really reaching out to groups that have a special interest need, specifically pro-life groups, and going to them and saying, what are your needs, and then bringing the training that they need to them and to their people. And it was a test project last year. So far, we've trained over 1,000 pro-life advocates.
Wow. And so what are you training them to do? I've gone through some of the trainings. They're phenomenal. But so what are you training these activists specifically to do?
Excellent. So one of the most popular trainings is a communications training. So pro-life organizations, pro-life advocates just need to be able to tell their story better. So we help them craft their messaging and craft their stories. And we do that by giving them the basic Leadership Institute message development training, but then also talk about what words specifically do pro-life activists need to be using in order to properly persuade their audience. So for example, we don't call them crisis pregnancy centers anymore because babies are not crises. The women that are seeking help are looking for help. So they're pregnancy help centers or pregnancy resource centers. And once we can get our activists to stop saying things like crisis pregnancy center and start saying pregnancy help center, people better understand what we're doing and what we give back to the community.
Yeah, so the left is really good at the manipulation of language, and I guess conservatives haven't quite wrapped their arms around this yet. But what are some tips that you have to make conservatives more effective generally in terms of, political issues, communication, organizing, grassroots things?
I guess the big thing is to go out there and do it. I mean, I got my start as a volunteer door knocking on political campaigns, and volunteering on door knocking became leading volunteers, became working on campaigns, organizing the volunteers, became working on presidential campaigns, organizing volunteers in 4 different states. So that's number one thing, is just do something. And then the second thing is to tell your stories. So often we as conservatives, we love statistics. The statistics are always on our side. Look how bad the economy is. Look how much abortion hurts women. Look how many people regret their abortions. But when you talk in statistics, they're not caring, they're not feeling, and they don't move the average person. If instead you could talk about, in South Dakota, we knew an 18-year-old who had been coerced into an abortion by her father. He took her to Planned Parenthood under the guise of, we're just going to give you a pregnancy test. And instead they strapped her down and took her baby from her while she was screaming, no, I want my baby. Can we all agree that forced abortion should not happen? That is a true story, by the way, and it happens more often than not. But when we can tell stories like that, we can get agreement across the crowd. There's not a single person out there that's going, no, I think we should force people into abortion. And if they are, they're cruel, horrible animals. And so when we can get people to start agreeing with us, then it's easier to change the policy out there. Excellent. So those are the 2 things.
And how do people get connected with LI? How would people, say, bring a training to their state, to their city, to get their people trained?
They can absolutely reach out to me. I'd love to bring a training to their community. We also do weekly or monthly webinars, and the Leadership Institute does over 1,000 trainings per year. So there's something always going on at the Leadership Institute. You can see the full list of things at leadershipinstitute.org, or if you're specifically looking for pro-life information, leadershipinstitute.org/pro-life, and I can be found there.
And so you guys are nonpartisan, so it's not like about training Republicans. This is about conservatives and people who want to preserve freedom, protect life, things like that, huh?
Yes, everything that we train on can be used by any campaign, any activist, at any policy, whether you're trying to fundraise for your pregnancy care center or you're trying to fundraise for maybe a ministry that saves horses from the slaughterhouse. I've trained people that do that before. So it really is broad-based, and what we teach can be applied to any topic. So even if you're like, well, I really don't care about pro-life so much, but I'm pro-gun, I can help you with that.
Yeah, fantastic, Dena. And the website one more time, and any final thoughts on how people get involved?
Sure thing. Leadershipinstitute.org is our website, and people just get involved. Pull up the magic Google machine and just type in your local party of your choice, or the local campaign of your choice, or the local pregnancy care center, and just look and then call them up and ask, what can I do to volunteer? That's how you get involved.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dena. We appreciate it.
Imprisonment, forced labor, permanent separation from my family, perhaps death. I knew what could happen to people who were caught trying to defect, but the watchtowers stood yards away. The possibility of a new life in a different world, one without tyranny, was within sight. The West. I thought of the rewards no longer crushed under the boot of communism. I would work and make money, no longer restrained by the chains of collectivism. I would say what I wanted, without fear of spies and informants nearby. I would be free. The frozen rain and Romanian mud seeped through my gloves and cloths. I fantasized about the fire burning in the wood stove of my parents' home, but I pushed those thoughts from my mind, closed my eyes, and waited for the cover of the darkness.
Get Defector, a true story of tyranny, liberty, and purpose by Mark Hobafkovich with Paul Dragu, a thrilling page-turner that will remind you how precious yet vulnerable freedom is. Available at shopjbs.org or Amazon. For a limited time, get 20% off your entire order using promo code Defector20 when you purchase Defector at shopjbs.org.